Hi team, today we are reviewing this Mystery Ranch In-N-Out 22. It is a 22-liter bag that was purchased roughly 2 years ago, which would be in the middle of 2024 during a liquidation. So in the current Mystery Ranch lineup, this model, the 22, along with its younger sibling, the In-N-Out 19, I believe, were replaced with the In-N-Out 18 and 25. Now, I've been using this for the last 2 years, and even though it's one of the cheaper packs that I have access to, that I own, and quite an individual pack, or quite a simple pack, I think is a better descriptor compared to the other backpacks that I own, this one probably gets the most use. I use it for throwing everything into, predominantly when I go on the gym, if I am traveling through the city on a day trip, or if I just need a change of clothes somewhere, if I'm going to the beach. And one of the reasons that I use this bag instead of something that is more burly or bigger, such as, let's say, a Mystery Ranch 2-day assault pack, or some of the Osprey bags that I own, is because this is so much lighter and more portable, while at the same time not sacrificing that daily capacity. Now we're going to go into the details of this bag, how I use it, and where I believe it's best positioned. Now, when it retailed, or rather the MSRP for the manufacturer suggested retail price when this was released, which was, I believe, a couple of years ago, and I can put that into the MSRP when this product was released was something I'll put in the video. And at the time, and in Canada where I am, it was $150. Now, because I purchased it on a liquidation special when the new and updated versions came out, I actually got it for 50% off, so I paid $75 for this. Now, why do I like this backpack as much as I do? Well, first we'll go into the actual features. So on the front, we have a mesh pouch. Now this bag is actually compactable. So right now I have it full, but it can be rearranged so that it fits into this pocket. And that, when it's at this size, it will, which I'll show at a later point, you can actually put it, let's say, in an interior pocket for someone's jacket, or first thing I go to is inside another bag, but how practical would that be? However, during travel, this is an especially useful bag because it has suspension features and a comfort that even for both bigger and smaller people, but especially bigger people, is comfortable. One of the most comfortable day packs that is as portable as this one is. So it'll go in this package, and I have a measuring tape. Here we can actually see, so fully extended, this bag is roughly, if you pull the drawstring all the way out, then it'll be about 24 inches, 2 feet, so about 60 centimeters high. However, if you turn it around and look at the back, so right now I have it full, you can note that the distance between the strap and the base of the bag, or let's say where the strap, I think that'd be the base of the bag, which aims to kind of take up the entirety of your back. It's about 16 inches, which I'll put in centimeters. So while we're here, you can look at the back. So it's very plain, no ventilation. These are the straps, and it's a soft mesh that's bordered by quite a fine material. here, and I've had no issues with these over 5 years. I have had a puncture. Now this material is, I believe, a 220 denier fabric, and on abrasion zones, like I think the bottom, it is double packed. I did get one protrusion here, like something just poked, like stuck me or poked either in or out, and I just put some tape over that on both sides just in case. The ripstop material, which you can actually identify and we can look at closer, you can see the tighter weaves. So those weaves create hard stops when you have a rip in the fabric, so that it will kind of find the end of one of those small grids, and then it'll mark it as a cross seam, so it becomes much more difficult for the cut to extend beyond it. Here we have the little entry for hydration hole, so it's only on one side. It is full right now, and I want to go through how much it holds. On the inside, see, we have a little hydration packet. It'll go, I think you can probably fit around a 2 or maybe a 3 liter, no, I think a 2 liter bladder. Otherwise, there are no pockets on the inside. It's only this hydration pouch, and you want to consider that when you're making a bag purchase, based on preferences and use cases, of course. And then so you have the big mesh pocket that it'll stuff into. And this is a mesh. It's quite, there is a minimal stretch to it. However, it is similar to the water bottle meshes used in the other Mystery Ranch backpack, which perhaps I can show later. And then there is a very small pouch, so you can see, so extended here with my hand. It goes basically my entire hand, basically. And then this one to the bottom is about like that. Okay, and then nothing on the top, simple zipper, and you can see the inside is lined with this kind of a thick and thin mesh that seems layered. Right now I just have a couple throwaway things for medication. What I use this pocket for most is my valuables, so I'll put my wedding ring or my watch when I go to the gym, and then I throw this into a storage locker. Otherwise, on the sides, both sides, they have this, how you can say, this daisy chain, which I just have a current carabiner on, so I can throw. I always have easy access to my lock when I need to go to the gym. And that's the same on the other side. There are these little fabric ties, which are used to, I believe, for trekking poles I've seen most often. So you would find something maybe at the bottom of the bag to lock into, and then just tie this one around. Or you know what? I think so you can put something into this and then twist it around, and then you put it in here. So we may go over that in more detail later. So you have 2 compression straps on each side. 1, 2, side compression. One water bottle packet. This is a 1 liter bottle of Pepsi. So the other side you can see is plain, and then has the flip top. There is no pocket in the flip top. It's just it's like a double piece of mesh. So when it's fully closed, and then you have the drawstring. Boom. So in order to operate it, you can see the mechanism. You have to pull in order to lose the tension. So if you're just here, it won't. If you're holding on this part, then it will not separate. You have to be holding onto the pull in order for it to separate, barring like exceptional force. So you do this. Oftentimes, I'll just leave this open, even though it's really easy to close. And I find that I myself gravitating to this bag more so than many zippered bags, largely because of this. And then this, which I never do, you get the 2 just closing zippers. You get 2, and this acts as little material to shed water if necessary. It does have a sternum strap. This is my own mini carabiner. I don't use this because of the minimal weight that I tend to carry in this. And foremost, why I like this bag is because, like what I said, of the ease of use. When I have just a couple things, maybe water bottle, some snacks, just throw them in here, boom, and that's, I find, much faster and more reliable than a zipper, because and there is the redundancy. So just doing this, there is a redundancy compared to zippers on these kinds of top-loading bags, because even if you forget to do it, you're carrying it, and all of your stuff is going to naturally go to the bottom of the bag. Now, because of that, I find that this is most effective to use when I'm carrying minimal things. I don't often bring paperwork in this bag. However, I am able to fit a laptop, and then so I'll just go through what I have in here and just empty it out. Just have gym clothes, straps, wrist straps, sunglasses, and another shirt, base layer. You can look a little bit at the seams. So like I said, 2 years, and this has become very much a throwing bag. So I can just pick it up, and because it's so pliable, it becomes very easy to use. This one, so what I like about there being a mesh pocket is that when I am going to the gym, and you can kind of see how it's worn as a result of this, at least I believe. So this could just be salt. No, you know what? This is not salt from the outside. If I am going exceptionally hard at the gym, then I will put, to the extent where I soak any clothing, or maybe when I go to the beach and I'll have something wet, then I can toss it in here, and it will be separate from anything that's on the interior of the bag, while also being able to breathe. Now, that has obviously created some sweat markings on the lower portion of the mesh. And after this, I'll probably just, I'm going to wash, and then I'll put some soap and water on it and report back to see how it is taken to that wash. So the front pocket, just some shampoo, antiperspirant. And we'll go to, I also actually use this as my personal item on many flights, both domestic and international. Like I said, it's 22 liters. Now, it does fit a laptop. However, because there is no individual compartment or specialized compartment, you kind of are forced to use a case. However, I have a 16-inch Lenovo Yoga that I will put in this, and it'll also flatten the back, so it becomes a little bit more comfortable to carry. If I need to transport it in here and I don't want to use a briefcase. So now I'm fully done out, so we're gonna just flip it inside. Oh, you know what? I probably should empty my other pocket before that. All right, so with these kinds of pockets, especially with soft material bags, you want to start at the very bottom, start just pushing away. And you'll notice the mesh pocket has the zipper for the mesh pocket, you'll notice, is reversible. So there is a pull on both sides in order to accommodate the folding nature, right? So you just watched us pack it, and this is what so this was the shape it was in when I bought it. So again, brand new, but at a period of liquidation when it was being replaced. I'll certainly not as beautiful as when it was initially packed. Boom. Okay, so we are set. All right, compactable and cool little Mystery Ranch logo, and when compressed about 10 by 7 inches, and maybe like 2 to 4 inches in depth, right? Little hanging tag, put it somewhere. Like I said, this is my favorite bag. If you can find one, I highly recommend you picking one up, because the use case as the load top with all of these features makes it very comfortable and very useful for a great majority of people. All right, team, you have a good one. I'll talk to you later.